Back in the Philippines, life had never been easy for him. He grew up in a small, crowded neighborhood where houses were built close together, and every family had a story of struggle. His home was made of thin walls and a tin roof that rattled loudly whenever the rain came. During storm season, water would leak through the ceiling, dripping onto the floor where he slept beside his younger siblings. Nights were often spent awake, listening to the rain, wondering if the roof would hold until morning. His father worked long hours doing whatever jobs he could find, construction when there was work, carrying heavy loads at the market when there was not. His mother sold home-made food outside their house, waking before sunrise to cook and staying up late to count the few bills she earned. Even with all their effort, there were days when meals were small and hope felt even smaller. But there was one thing that always filled their home, even when the pantry was empty: music. The boy's mother loved to sing while cooking, her voice soft but full of feeling. Old love songs, church hymns, melodies she had learned as a child. The boy would sit nearby, listening carefully, memorizing every note. Music became his escape, his comfort, and eventually his dream. He did not have formal training, no music school, no vocal coach, no expensive microphone. He sang wherever he could, at home, in church, at school events, and sometimes quietly to himself when the world felt too heavy. When his family struggled the most, he sang to remind himself that life could still be beautiful. There were moments when he almost gave up, when classmates teased him for dreaming too big, when neighbors told him that singing would never put food on the table. When auditions he tried to attend required money for transportation that his family did not have. Each disappointment hurt, but none of them silenced his voice. Then one day, everything changed. A local audition opportunity appeared, one that could lead to something bigger. It was a long shot, almost impossible, but his family believed in him. His mother sold extra food, his father borrowed money, and together they managed to get him to the audition. When he sang, people stopped talking. Some wiped tears from their eyes. For the first time, strangers believed in him too. That audition led to another, and then another, until suddenly the dream that once felt impossible became real. He was selected to audition for America's Got Talent. When he heard the news, he cried, not quiet tears, but deep, shaking sobs of disbelief and gratitude. He hugged his parents, knowing that this moment was not just his, but theirs. Traveling to America was like stepping into another world. The buildings were taller, the streets wider, and everything felt overwhelming. But the most intimidating place of all was the AGT theater. Backstage, he saw performers from all over the world. Some practiced silently, others stretched. Some stared at the floor, lost in thought. Everyone carried a dream, but only a few would see it come true. When his turn came, his legs felt weak as he walked onto the stage. The judges sat before him, powerful figures whose opinions could change lives. Simon Cowell, known for his honesty and often harsh critiques, looked at him with a neutral expression. Heidi smiled warmly. Howie nodded encouragingly. Sophia leaned forward, curious. The host asked him a few questions. He spoke about his family, his home, and why he was there. His voice shook slightly, but his words were honest. He said he wanted to give his parents a better life. He said he wanted to prove that even a poor boy from the Philippines could dream big. The audience listened in silence. Then it was time to sing. The first note left his mouth, and something shifted in the room. His voice was pure, emotional, and filled with a kind of pain that could not be taught. Every word carried the weight of his past. Every note reflected the hope he held on to for so long. He was not just singing a song. He was telling his life story. As the performance continued, the audience grew still. Some leaned forward, some covered their mouths. The camera cut to the judges, and even Simon Cowell's expression had changed. The tough, critical look softened. His eyes focused intensely on the boy, as if seeing not just a contestant, but a human story unfolding through music. Halfway through the song, the boy closed his eyes. For a moment, it felt like he was back home, singing in that small house with the leaky roof, his family listening nearby. He poured everything into the final notes, his voice rising, then gently falling, ending in a silence so deep it felt sacred. For a split second, no one moved. Then the theater exploded. The audience jumped to their feet. Applause thundered through the room, and cheers filled the air. It was a standing ovation, loud and endless. The boy stood frozen, eyes wide, tears forming as he tried to understand what was happening. The judges stood as well, clapping with genuine admiration. Heidi wiped tears from her eyes. Sophia looked visibly emotional. Howie shook his head in disbelief, and then there was Simon Cowell. Simon did not speak right away. He remained standing, applauding slowly, his face serious, his eyes shining. When the applause finally softened, he took a deep breath. His voice, when he spoke, was quieter than usual. He said that he had heard thousands of singers over the years. He said that many had great voices, but very few had something real. He told the boy that what he had just done was not just sing well, but connect. He admitted that the performance moved him deeply, that it reminded him why shows like this exist. The boy listened, tears now freely falling, his hands shaking as he held the microphone. Then something incredible happened. Simon reached for the golden buzzer. Time seemed to slow. The audience gasped. The boy's eyes widened in disbelief. When Simon pressed the buzzer, golden confetti burst from above, raining down like a dream come true. The theater erupted again, louder than before. The boy fell to his knees, overwhelmed. He covered his face, sobbing as the gold surrounded him. His parents watched from backstage, crying, holding each other, barely able to stand. Years of sacrifice, pain, and hope all led to this single moment. Simon walked onto the stage and spoke directly to the boy. He told him that this was just the beginning, that his story mattered, that his voice deserved to be heard around the world. As the celebration continued, one thing was clear. This was not just another audition. This was a reminder that talent can come from anywhere, that dreams do not belong only to the privileged, and that sometimes the most powerful voices rise from the quietest places. The video of the performance quickly spread across the internet. Millions watched and shared it. Comments poured in from all over the world. People said they cried. People said they felt inspired. People said they believed in miracles again.